Jimmy Dore, who hosts his own show on YouTube, the Jimmy Dore Show, he recently, I believe, and actually I don't have the date of this program because I couldn't find this video, but this clip was actually a part of the Majority Report and with Sam Cedar. So they were actually playing this clip, and again, I couldn't find this clip anywhere, so I don't know the exact date. But it had to be sometime after the announcement of Tulsi Gabbard running for president.
I think it was on a live show. I don't think they clipped it yet.
Jimmy Dore is responding to a question by a viewer.
Yeah, it's
and
like...
the viewer is actually raising questions about Tulsi's past and about her affiliation with far-right government.
Trying to be an informed voter.
Exactly.
Because Tulsi identifies Hindu, I need to hear from her about her stance on Modi fascism, Islamophobia, imperialism in Kashmir, and whether she agrees morally with the caste system that is incredibly sexist against women. Thanks for the donation. I don't have any answers.
I can tell you one thing. If there's one thing I couldn't care less about, it's what's happening in India. Is that wrong of me to not care? I mean, how does that affect me? Yeah, there's lots of bad governments all around the world. Why should I give a shit about another one? I don't understand. Right? Isn't that like saying, like, hey, Assad's not a good guy, and so we should have troops there? I don't understand. None of them are good guys. Look what fucking Israel's doing to medics on their border. That's our ally. Turkey's our ally. Look what we're doing in Yemen with our ally Saudi Arabia. I mean, so this idea of somehow the people in they got her because she likes a guy, and we're in fucking bed with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's just ridiculous. So you're going to have a different litmus test now for her than you have for every other fucking president, including Barack Obama?
He began by saying, couldn't care less about what's happening in India.
That's what one of his personalities said. Go ahead. Sorry.
Couldn't care less about what's happening in India. Why should I? Do you see like where we are, what we're doing in Afghanistan? Do you see like one of our allies is Saudi Arabia, and what we're doing in Yemen? Should we have a different litmus test for her than we do for somebody like Barack Obama?
Does he realize he contradicted himself when he said, should I feel bad for not caring that there's bad dictators? It doesn't affect me. But then immediately pivot to look what we're doing in Yemen and look what we're doing in Saudi Arabia. You're pointing to
our affiliation,
with dictators. Like, this dude is seriously disjointed.
Like, look, I have many problems with this, but one is you're making the case like, okay, by you saying that like I couldn't care less about what's happening in India because look at what we as a country have been doing for many years. Look at what we're doing currently right now. You don't support what we're doing right now. The things that you listed, you don't support any of that. You were very critical of former President Barack Obama and his foreign matters and, the decisions he made across the globe. You were very critical about that. So why would you be supportive of some very comparable type of ideology or actions from a possible President Tulsi Gabbard? Why would you be supportive of that? You couldn't care less about what's going on in India, and if she's actually supportive of a far-right government? That makes no damn sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. To me, it's a good example of this habitual act that people seem to not be able to get over, of giving people a pass on serious shit because you like them. You see what I'm saying? The same unconditional persona protection that we point out that the mainstream media does, Jimmy is doing it now. Mm-hmm. Jimmy is doing it on behalf of Tulsi Gabbard because he likes her.
Yep.
And unfortunately,
he interviewed her. She came to the set.
And unfortunately, people do that on behalf of Jimmy too. So in both cases, Jimmy is giving hypocritical people who have conflicts of past, and people who like Jimmy Dore are giving hypocritical people that have conflicting interests and conflicting talking points of past, and people will give Jimmy a pass for this. I already know. I don't even have to look at the chat.
Oh, no,
I don't even have to go look on Twitter. I don't have to, because I already know people are doing it, and people are just so consumed with kind of Jimmy's
Fandom.
persona and fandom that they don't see how he's kind of
he's not objective.
he's
here.
not objective at all.
Nah.
Like,
because if you were objective, again, I pointed out, he's not a fan of any of these issues that he just listed. He's not a fan of any of that. He's not a fan of President Barack Obama. So if you're not with these decisions that you always criticize, if you're not with them at all, then why would you be a fan? Why would you be supportive of Tulsi Gabbard? Why would it not interest you, her affiliation with India and her affiliation with the far-right government? Why would that not interest you at all? If you are actually objective, then you would call her out for that affiliation. You would actually remain objective no matter who it's referencing.
was that a legitimate question from that viewer?
It was a very legitimate question because she was actually, I guess she was actually, she was calling for more information. She called for more information from somebody that she trusted.
As, again, this is why we have to talk about this. She called because she trusted Jimmy Dore to inform her of the person she was asking about.
And what
That's why it's
information
important.
did he give her?
And he got triggered because of his discomfort and deflected to fucking Obama. Like, I don't know, like, does he know something about the asker of this question that we don't know about? Like, he was pointing to double standards and shit. But first of all, what does Obama have to do with this?
Nothing.
And whatever double standards people apply to Obama, I don't care. This is about Tulsi Gabbard. Right. It's Jimmy's job to be consistent and objective and not have double standards in the face of mainstream media double standards. So it's his job to be consistent. We don't care about, mainstream media or people who hold double standards about Obama. It's his job to be objective and informative to his viewers.
You would expect this from somebody that's in the corporate media, wouldn't you? You would expect something like this. Hey, because if she's doing this, like many people that have political positions, they do the same exact thing. But the difference here is that Tulsi Gabbard is a so-called progressive. She labels herself as a progressive. Many people have thrown that label at her as well. So Jimmy Dore, supposedly he's like a voice for the people. He's a voice of reason, okay? He tells the truth to you. We know that he's a former comedian, but he's actually trying to give you the news, the news like fair and balanced. Not to use Fox's news term, but that's exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to tell you the truth and trying to lead you in the right way. Tell me that his analysis of Tulsi Gabbard just distracting and deflecting from something that is very, very important, something that is actually very legitimate to discuss. Tell me that's like leading you in the right direction. Tell me that's Jimmy Dore being objective. You know that there was a live show, right?
Could have been.
This was Jimmy Dore off the cuff. This was Jimmy Dore off the cuff. So if for any time Jimmy Dore is being himself, I think that's what you saw in that clip. Like, that was his immediate reaction to a legitimate question concerning Tulsi Gabbard. And his immediate reaction
there was a question.
I don't care.
So now all of a sudden, U.S. leaders supporting dictators is not worthy of discussion. We will remember that, Jimmy. We will remember that. We will remember that. But why should I care about global fascism? Jimmy Dore, 2019.
Yeah. Tagline.